UGA versus Tennessee, the preview. Chris, sticking with the theme here, why don't you tell me a little bit about my dogs?
Ooh, the Dogs. Well, we know what they are, right? They're 10-0, number one rated team in the country. I think they should be. Absolute beatdown last week against Ole Miss, Christian. That had to make you happy. I know it did for my pocketbook. 52-17. Georgia did whatever they wanted to in that game. It was over after the first quarter. Like I said, man, what's there to say about UGA? We know about everything there is to know about them. Team seems to get better and better each week, Christian. That's a sign of a really good team, and that's been Georgia. They look miles better than what they did against Auburn, South Carolina to start the season. It's Georgia, man. Brock Bowers, man, surprised the hell out of me that he played last week, dude. He played 90% of the snaps. That has to make you happy, and the resident Bulldog fans happy. I love watching Brock Bowers. Funny story. I think I maybe told you this, but I got to tell it on air anyway, that a bunch of NFL scouts apparently called him. And by the way, this was out of his mouth. Said they called him, told him, hey, Brock, don't play. You're going to be a top 10 draft pick. He said, no, I play for UGA and I play for my teammates. And so don't bother drafting me, and hung up the phone. I thought that was awesome. You don't see a lot of kids do that nowadays. It kind of just says a lot of character, what type of character Brock Bowers has and what type of person he is, man. I love that. He's a hell of a college football player. No doubt in my mind, Christian, he will be an elite NFL tight end in a few years. Somebody's going to get a really good player there and a really good person. Christian, I don't have much more to add about UGA, man. If you don't watch football at this point in the season, there's something wrong. We know what UGA is. Why don't you tell me about the Tennessee Volunteers?
Yeah, you're going to let me get Brock Bowers in fantasy football, Chris? Go ahead. No, number one overall pick next year. Let's go. No, I think here's the thing about Tennessee. You kind of touched on Georgia and that dominating win that they had over Ole Miss last week. Vice versa here, right? Where a lot of people were picking Tennessee on the road at Mizzou last week. Now, you can make the argument it was on the road, but Tennessee got dismantled, Chris. I mean, they got dismantled in that game. Wasn't very close. The offense didn't really come to play in that game. The thing with Tennessee's offense is they want to kind of pound the rock on you, right, Chris? They want to lean on that run game. Jalen Wright's going to be their guy. They want to really lean on the run game here. The passing game has been a lot more, I don't want to say lackadaisical, but the passing game just hasn't been what they're used to, right? It's kind of been flipped this year. Still a pretty decent offense, I feel as if. They've kind of had to lean a lot more on their defense as of late to kind of carry them, right? So I do think Tennessee's defense much more improved. We saw what Georgia has done this year, and they've obviously grown, I think, tremendously on the offensive side of the ball. Can Tennessee at home stop them? We know Georgia has struggled this year on the road at times. Tennessee plays much better at home than they do on the road. And I kind of think that might have been a little bit of an impact on it, right? And I think that'll slightly play into this game here, right? I'll go ahead and give you my predictions, what I think is going to happen, Chris. Give me UGA 35, Tennessee 17.
Woo, we're close. I like it, but not as much as my score. I got Georgia dropping a 42 bomb on Tennessee. I got Tennessee at 17. Let's go, Dogs.